VDM shook the table today, and the repercussion is still being felt all over social media. The so-called Gumbody Grammy didn't come from a Wizkid-led project. It wasn't a Wizkid album carrying African sounds on his back. It was a future win inside a foreign project driven by an already Grammy-friendly machine. Yes, Wizkid won a Grammy, but no, it was not for musical prowess. This Grammy was awarded for a music video category, not for songwriting, not for vocals, not for sound engineering, not for artistic depth. It was a music video. It was for a music video. That means the award recognizes visual direction, cinematography, concept, editing, and production quality. Now, how well Wizkid sang, but did not matter. What who wrote or how it sounded musically was not the question, and that distinction matters because when fans shout Grammy winner to prove musical superiority, they are pushing a false narrative. You don't win a music video Grammy because your voice is better than everyone else's. You win it because the visual execution met Grammy standards. In fact, that category heavily credits directors, video producers, creative teams, people most fans can't even name. They don't even know. So calling it proof of musical dominance is like praising an actor for winning an Oscar for best costume design. Still an Oscar, but not acting. This is why people mock it as Gumbody Grammy. Not because Wizkid didn't deserve recognition, but because Wizkid FC oversold what the award actually represents. If Wizkid wins a Grammy for Best Global Music Performance or Album of the Year, that's a different conversation. For this one, it was about visual packaging, not musical genius. Facts are not meant to for disrespect. Facts are for clarity. Celebrate the win, but stop confusing visual excellence with musical greatness. Because when we don't tell the truth, we set ourselves up for embarrassment on the global stage.
All right, you see, Nigeria is the only country in the world that don't have music legends. Nigeria is the only country in the world. America, they have their Dr. Dre. You know, when it comes to dancehall, Jamaica, they have their Benny Man. You know, different genre. Reggae, you see Bob Marley, you see Lucky Dube. You know, Nigeria is the only country that don't have music legend. You know why? Because this place, they don't call them music legends. They call them past glory. And this issue going on between Wizkid and the Kuti family. Because of this reason, a lot of you have gone out of your way to disrespect Fela Kuti. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Now I'm going to talk about Wizkid. I don't have a problem with Wizkid and Seun Kuti doing their thing. Personally, I feel like Wizkid would have just knocked Seun Kuti like this. If Wizkid had come out to say, well, first of all, I have a tattoo of Fela on me. Fela is somebody that I respect. If you go down to issues, somebody I love and I respect. I will not let anybody disrespect Fela. But again, you Seun Kuti, are you bigger than me? That one said for big, very good bands. But this thing when you post as Big Bad Kuti, I am Big Wiz, every day bigger than your papa. Waiting you won't do fool. This small thing where you post, you can't make the whole Twitter children start to bash Fela name, they short Fela. Fela. Now, the one where even bust my head and say this tweet. After Wizkid, Fela is the greatest Afrobeat artist. Fela no gets Grammy. God is dummy. Now, let's talk about Wizkid Grammy. This is Wizkid's Grammy. Wizkid, Best Music Video, 2020, Brown Skin Girl with Beyonce and Blue Ivy. Best Music Video, not even for vocal. Best Music Video. Is Wizkid a model? Is Wizkid a model? Abi Natiji Omori or Director Pink. Is Wizkid a model? Best, not for vocal, not for his music arts, as a, not for him as a best music video. Now that Grammy they use the talk. Grammy when a Beyonce influence bring am. Grammy where share, they say Beyonce take. Blue Ivy share with Beyonce picking. Where they say okay, Blue Ivy take. Now you want to take disrespect Fela name? This same Grammy? Now the Beyonce where they use her influence, they give Wizkid Grammy. Now let's come to Beyonce as a person. Listen to this. What is the title? Beyonce pays tribute to late Afrobeat legend Fela Kuti at Coachella. Now zombie they play like zombie, oh zombie. That was zombie Fela. Now let's see the person where her influence give Wizkid Grammy. Let's watch. You see, Beyonce honors Fela. Now let's read. Beyonce talks Fela Kuti in recent Billboard interview. I recorded more than 60 songs. Everything I ever wanted to try, I just did. I started off being inspired by Fela Kuti. I actually worked with the band from Fela for a couple of days just to get the feel for the soul and heart of his music. It's so sexy and has a great groove. You get lost in it. You get lost in. I love these drums, all the horns, how everything was on the one. How everything was on the one. When I learned most from Fela was artistic freedom. It just feel the spirit. It just felt the spirit. This is what Beyonce, the person where give Wizkid, see Fela as a god, as an art. As you can see, Beyonce plays Fela Kuti music at a star-studded baby shower. It's an art. Now you they use play. You say Wizkid get Grammy. Take a good look at the Grammy again, where they take one disrespect Fela. As if una the craze for this country. Best music video with Small Pikin, Blue Ivy, and a Mama influence. Now let's come to Fela. That same thing when Beyonce play for stage, zombie, oh zombie. As you can see, it was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2025 Grammy. Wizkid music, none of his music till he dies will be inducted in the Hall of Fame. I tell you that for free. Listen to his music. Not be all those she tell me say. Are you people mad? You use Fela's name to do this. She tell me say. His biggest song is Essence. If they will ever induct Essence in the Hall of Fame, they will induct him with Thames, not only him. Now look at this. Inducted recording album, Zombie. Artist, songwriter, producer, Fela. Everything was Fela. No credit went to anybody. Everything was Fela. Fela is an art. You don't see where they do Fela. Fela for stage. I don't watch Fela. I don't fool my brain. But we say if one sound no click, Fela, you go to repeat. Best music video. This is not even a real Grammy, bro. I call it a compensation Grammy for Blue Ivy, where the grace later touched Wizkid. Cry all you want. It is what it is.